Well, I recorded this video a couple of times because I'm trying to fit, I'm trying to figure out how to explain cloud computing to people because it seems so confusing. In the assignments I see, especially at this point in the course, there's a lot of people that just don't understand, and the answers they give to assignments indicate that they don't get it. I don't know what cloud computing is. Cloud computing is a marketing term. It is made to trick you and to lie to you to get your money. Okay, so first you have to know that first off. Some marketer came up with the term cloud computing. Nobody who made the technology that is behind what we call cloud computing ever called it that. It's just silly. Actually, I think it came from the fact that up on whiteboards, we always draw things on whiteboards these days. When we would indicate the internet, we wouldn't bother trying to draw in exactly how the internet works. We would just do a big cloud and write internet inside of it, and things would point to it and says, okay, here we go. We are connected to the internet. Whee! And that was tricky. So I'm trying to come up with a way to give you an explanation of cloud computing. And I looked down at one of my examples at the very bottom of this thing here. You see where I say using Uber instead of setting up a traditional taxi company. Let's use that as a way to explain cloud computing. Back in the old days, and I mean, I'll just say like 15 years ago, which isn't very long ago at all for a guy like me. That was nothing. I was a fully realized. Anyway, it doesn't matter. People had cars. Now, some of you still have cars. We have not yet abandoned the whole idea of most people have cars, especially in this part of the country where distances are so large to get to anything. People used to have their own cars. They used to keep their own cars. They used to take their cars to the mechanic when things used to break down. In fact, the smarter thing to do was always to learn a little bit enough about cars so that you could work on certain aspects of it yourself. And I'm pretty bad at that. Beyond oil changes and stuff like that, and changing out light bulbs and headlights and a few things beyond that, I really hand over the repair of my car to other people. I don't try to do it myself. We are in a world now where a lot of people have found other ways to take care of their transportation issues. Now, around here, we don't have public transportation. Europe is much more into public transit than we are. It's much more concentrated. It just makes more sense there. Here, it doesn't make any sense because we're all spread out, and it's uneconomical to try to get people to come to some central location to catch a bus. Schools do it, but that's because they have to. Trust me. If it operated as an actual business that had to actually be responsive to a customer base, oh my gosh, you wouldn't have school buses. we would totally have something different. Cloud computing is that whole change from having your own stuff, having your own car, for instance, to maybe renting a car when you need it, contracting with somebody else to provide you a car. There used to be a lot of people who used to lease their vehicles. I mean, individual people. My dad was into that. He got introduced to this because he was a salesman, and he traveled a lot in his job, and he didn't want to worry about cars at all. And when you lease a car, you take the car in all the time to the shop, and they'll do diagnostics, they'll fix whatever's broken, they'll do the oil changes, they'll do everything. It's their car, and over time, they'll give you incentives to upgrade to a new car, and you'll pay just a monthly fee for the privilege of having a vehicle. Now, that's like cloud computing too. It is, some of you give the impression that you think that To use the analogy that that a car leasing program is a car, and that car leasing programs will make you have better gas mileage. Does that sound silly? I'll have to be honest, a lot of the answers that you guys give where you said, oh, cloud computing is a great idea because it makes your data run faster. And you go, no, it doesn't. That's like saying a leased car gets better gas mileage than an owned car. And you're going, what? That's two different things completely. Don't mix the two. And I find people do that. Don't fall into that trap. All cloud computing services is usually a company will have their own servers, and they will hire their own people to manage them, buy their own software, have their people install it and maintain it, and all those things. That is the traditional motif of how you did information services, information technology. Now you have so many more options, and all those options kind of get all glommed together in this thing called cloud computing, which basically is that you get other people to handle things for you. You get a mechanic to fix your car problems instead of doing it yourself. You lease a car rather than buy it because you don't want to have all the problems that come with owning something. If ever there's a problem, you just take it into to the local shop and they fix it for you, and it's all included in this wonderful lease. And they will give you a different car to drive later on in exchange for your regular payments of having a car. That's cloud computing right there too. Except now instead of cars and things like that, it's all about computers and software and applications. It's all those things. Hopefully this helps you to see that more clearly. It really is a management technique. Do you really have the resources to actually own your infrastructure, to actually own your servers? Are you willing to pay a company or to pay employees to run your infrastructure for you? Would it be cheaper to just make a deal with somebody? I'll pay you, so many thousands of dollars a month, and you will provide me with a database, all the storage, all the backups, all the things that go with that, along with an application that's already been integrated and it works great. Have a nice day. It's called services. And it's going to come up more and more in a later chapter, and hopefully you'll be able to grok it a little better. But just for the purposes of this, think of it like a car. Think of it like a car, to the point to where you could even go as far as Uber, which is you don't even have a car. You can just call somebody, and for a fee, they will drive you to where you want to go, even for little trips, even for big trips, one or the other. That is the ultimate outsourcing, and that's what cloud computing is. It is just another form of outsourcing what you hope to accomplish. So hopefully that helps you grok it a little bit better, so that when you do the assignments, when people in the future do these assignments, that they'll understand it, frankly, better than some of you guys do. And it's okay. These are new concepts. This is a new paradigm to kind of think through. We have to try to give you examples of stuff you understand. Hopefully the cars help. Hopefully something like Uber helps, where you say, I don't have to have a car. And you go, ding, there you go. That's cloud services. You get stuff done by other people. You don't have to try to do it yourself. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Have a great day. Bye.